Happy October, everyone. The baseball playoffs are upon us, and Texas football gets ready for their big matchup this Saturday with the Baylor Bears. All this and much more coming up next.
What the hell's the rest of it?
Here's the rest of it.
Taylor's not even here to defend himself.
I'm so excited.
Welcome into another episode of College Crossfire. I'm your host, Jeff Barker. Before we dive into some Texas football talk, let's introduce tonight's panel. To my immediate right, we have Addison Stahl, trying to reclaim his championship from last week.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to win again.
All righty, and Camille Brooks in the middle, veteran panelist.
Hello.
How's it going, Camille?
It's all right. How are you?
And making her first ever appearance on College Crossfire, Taylor Smith. Taylor, how's it going?
Pretty good.
All righty, guys. Well, let's get right into it. Last weekend's 23-0 victory over Kansas wasn't a pretty one for Texas, but any win's a good win for the Horns at this point. While the Vance Bedford-led Longhorn defense looked good out there, the Texas offense continued to struggle to move the ball and put points on the board. They're now 2-2 on the year with two of their toughest games ahead of them in the next few weeks. But before we get into that, takeaways from the Kansas game. Addison, we'll start with you.
Really, my first takeaway from this game is that Texas was saved by takeaways. Kansas had 8 drives into the Texas side of the field. 4 of them ended in interceptions. Really, you got to think that if Texas couldn't get those takeaways, this could have been a much different game. Yeah. So I'm definitely worried about this Texas team. However, it's nice to see that Tyrone Swoops was able to throw for over 200 yards, no interceptions, and 2 touchdowns. Maybe he's getting a little bit of confidence out there.
Definitely. Camille?
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty much going to reiterate the question. Defense was good, and that's pretty much something you're going to need against one of the top offenses in the Big 12 coming up against Baylor. But offense was a little shaky. They didn't move the ball very well. So I hope that they can pick that up because that's going to be necessary.
Yeah, it seems like the offense has trouble moving the ball with a full field to work with. I mean, they really only scored those points off of defensive takeaways.
Yeah.
Like
every
Addison
time they started the ball
well.
within like the 40, they did great, but they have the whole field. They were struggling.
Definitely. Taylor?
I'd say my takeaways for the game is the offense is still struggling. Without Espinoza on the line, it looks like we're having trouble creating holes for the running game, and Gray and Brown can't get any yardage or rhythm up there. So, I mean, a win is a win, but obviously the offense is struggling. Really good for the defense to pitch a shutout, but it was against Kansas, although hopefully it brings some confidence for Baylor this weekend because they're going to need to make a lot of stops against them.
Yeah, I mean, the win got Charlie Weiss fired for whatever it's worth. Only won 6 games at Kansas, so who knows. But similar points here. It seems like we're all taking away. Good job by the defense. Offense still struggled to move the ball, so I'm going to start everyone off with a point here. And guys, up next for the Longhorns, they will welcome the reigning Big 12 champion Baylor Bears to DKR on Saturday afternoon. We all know about Baylor's high-powered offense led by quarterback Bryce Petty, running back Shock Linwood, and a plethora of playmakers at receiver, which, considering Texas's recent offensive struggles, might explain why the Bears are 2 touchdown favorites, even on the road. So it all begs the question, guys, does Texas even really have a chance at all? I mean, what do they need to do specifically if they are to have a chance to pull off this upset? Camille?
I think Texas does have a chance. They got embarrassed by BYU at home. I don't think they want to do that to their fans or to themselves twice. Clearly it's Baylor. They have probably the best offense in the Big 12. They just move the ball so efficiently with Bryce Petty. Defense is going to have to play big time for Texas to have a chance, and offense just needs to score points while defense stops them. It's the main goal.
All right, pretty basic game plan there.
Get very basic. Just
score on offense and stop the other team on defense. All right, I like that. Score more points than the other team.
I'm going to put more emphasis on defense, though, because Baylor's just hard to stop.
Definitely. Taylor?
In order to win against Baylor, I think the offense definitely needs to create some holes so we can have a running game. We definitely need to dominate the time of possession and hopefully wear down Baylor's defense for the 4th quarter. On defense, Hassan Ridgeway, Malcolm Brown, and Cedric Reed, they all need to step up on the line, and they need to get to Petty before he can dissect this Texas secondary, and they just really need to stop the run game and make Baylor a one-dimensional team.
Okay.
I agree with Taylor, but I hate to be a downer in this. Texas does not have a chance in this game. BYU, just to give you guys some context, is ranked the 70th offense in the FBS. Baylor is ranked 6th. We got absolutely destroyed by BYU, and so I don't see this defense stopping the high-powered Baylor offense.
All right, good point there. But unlike you, Addison, I believe in the Longhorns. I think they may have a chance. I'm going to give Taylor the point on this one. Camille, you believe too, but I like the point Taylor made about the running game. Haven't been able to get that going. I think that'll really help Swoops if they can, finally open up some holes for Malcolm Brown, Jonathan Gray to get going. But guys, luckily for the underdog Longhorns, there may be help on the way in the form of DeJay Johnson. The junior playmaker posted something on his Instagram that may suggest he will return from his suspension to make his season debut this weekend. Safety Josh Turner posted something similar on his Instagram account prior to the UCLA game when he returned from his suspension. So if DeJay and even maybe offensive tackle Desmond Harrison do return from suspension this weekend, I mean, how much does having these guys back on the field really help the Longhorns? Taylor?
I think it's hard to say how much they'll really help the Longhorns since they haven't played a single down this season. We haven't seen them contribute at all. However, I think to have Harrison back on the line would hopefully create some holes for the offense. And DeJay is without a doubt a dynamic player, but we have a ton of dynamic players. We, more importantly, need the line to step up in order to create holes for all of our dynamic players.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Taylor here. I mean, we definitely need Harrison back to really get some push on that offensive line, also get some veteran leadership out there. But I'm really looking at the impact potentially of DeJay, because I believe that he can inject some life into this running and passing game, give us another playmaker, and maybe help Texas score some points against this high-powered Baylor offense.
Yeah, he seems like he's really going to go out there, if he does play with a chip on his shoulder, which usually yields some pretty good results out there.
Absolutely.
Camille?
It would definitely be good to have Harrison back, but Coach Strong has made it really clear his focus is on character. And I think he should spend more time trying to groom the boys that are behaving rather than try to question what will happen if we get DeJay and Desmond back. We got to continue to. It would be helpful, definitely, on the offensive line. It's a young, struggling offensive line, but I think they have to take the time to let them grow.
So you're saying you should just give up on these guys?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, if they come back and they want to follow all the rules, that's awesome. That's great. I'm happy to see how they'll contribute. I don't think it will make like a noticeable difference in how this team plays, but
I mean, I think these guys probably are following the rules of their suspensions. I mean, we've seen guys that have gotten suspended, haven't followed the rules, and look where they're at now, not on the team. So, I mean, I agree, develop the guys that, that are breaking the rules and try to get them, on track with the program and stuff. But so you think that having Harrison back would be bigger than having DeJay back, maybe?
I do. I think Marcus Johnson, and he's done a good job kind of taking over the position that DeJay played. I put them at about the same level, honestly. I don't think DeJay would do significantly better than Marcus would. Okay.
I mean, I think having both those guys back on the offense would be huge. I mean, like Taylor, you mentioned it. Got to have Desmond Harrison back. Got to have your offensive linemen, up to speed so you can open holes for the running game and all that. And then DeJay, I mean, he's a guy you can put anywhere, running back, wide receiver, wherever. But guys, I think I'm going to give Addison the point on this one going into the break. Coming up next, we'll discuss A&M's chances the rest of the season in the SEC and give you a preview of the divisional round matchups in the MLB playoffs. We'll be right back here on College Crossfire. Back here on College Crossfire, Addison, Camille, and Taylor joining me on the show tonight. Let's get a quick score update for you before we get into round two. Addison right here, the reigning champ from last week, got 2. Camille with 1, and Taylor tied atop the lead with Addison with 2 points. Now guys, while the college football season hasn't treated Longhorn fans here on the 40 Acres very well, it has been kind to the hated ones from College Station so far. On Saturday, Texas A&M improved to 5-0 on the year after a comeback victory in overtime against Arkansas. Schedule won't get any easier for the Aggies, though, in the coming weeks, with their next 3 games being played against top 15 teams. Even though it won't be easy, is A&M a legitimate contender to take the next step in their program, win the SEC, and maybe even earn themselves a spot in the college football playoff? Addison, we'll start with you.
I think A&M is absolutely a legitimate contender, and I hate to say that, but they have the number 1 ranked offense in college football right now. Combine that with the fact that people talk a lot about their defense, but they're actually beating Auburn in one ranking in terms of points against them. They're actually doing better than Auburn. So I think A&M is definitely a legitimate contender.
Yeah, I mean, I see that defense really improving from previous years. I mean, Kevin Sumlin really made it an effort. They've always had a good offense with Kevin Sumlin. He had a good offense when he coached at Houston and stuff. So, I mean, he made it a priority to go out and get some more defensive guys, the last couple of years recruiting, and I think we're finally seeing that pay off. Camille, what do you think? Are they legit?
Yeah, I definitely think A&M is a legit contender. Do I think they can take the Tide? No. I think it'll be a good game, but we'll see. But Kenny Hill is just a great quarterback. He really is. He has better stats in his first 5 starts than Manziel did. When he had his first 5 starts, more touchdowns, less interceptions, more yards per game. He's just a great quarterback. Kenny Trill, making it work. He's making
Camille
it
likes
work.
Kenny Trill. So you think legit to win the SEC? I mean, I guess if they win the SEC, they're probably automatically going to be in the college football
Probably.
playoff.
Yeah, they probably automatically be in. I think it would be A&M versus the Crimson Tide to see who wins the SEC, and I think they'd make it a good game like they have the past 2 years.
Okay. Taylor?
I think A&M's offense has a chance to take them to the SEC title and obviously a playoff contention spot, but I think their defense is going to hold them back. We saw Arkansas get 280-plus yards against them. I don't think that's good going into Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and then Alabama. I think the offense might be there, but the defense definitely isn't there, and this is a tough stretch coming up for the defense, and I don't think they're going to survive.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you guys are traitors. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm gonna have to give the point to Taylor on this one for loyalty, but seriously, I mean, good point about the defense. Addison, you mentioned the defense improving. We talked about that. I just don't know if they've quite improved enough. I mean, maybe next season, but right now, I don't know. I don't think they've been tested really enough. That Arkansas offense, not really a high-powered offense. Really, all they do is run the ball well. South Carolina, not so great either. Their other competition, not great. So we haven't seen them play a great offense yet. But I want to give Taylor the point here for being loyal on this one. Now, guys, keeping it in the Lone Star State for some NFL talk. On Sunday, the Cowboys and Texans will battle it out for in-state bragging rights. Both teams have played well to this point and will each bring 3-1 records to the table when they meet up at AT&T Stadium. Who are you guys taking in this one, Cows or Texans? Camille.
Born and raised, Houston, Texas. Gotta go for the Texans. But I will give the Cowboys this. I was really impressed by what they did to my Saints. Kind of broke my heart a lot, but I love the
your
Texans
Texans
also.
and your Saints?
Yeah, love them both. Family.
What are you even
I have
talking about
family
now?
with the Saints. I'm from Houston. I have to root for both teams.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, I'm taking Texans because I have to.
Alrighty.
Loyalty, right?
I'm taking the Cowboys. The NFL proves it's tough to win on the road, and this game's obviously in Dallas. The Texans really don't have any significant wins against Washington, Oakland, or Buffalo, and the Cowboys did beat the Saints, so that's a good win. The Cowboys are the top NFL rushing team right now, and their defense is surprisingly doing well. I think as long as they can shut down J.J. Watt, they have a really good chance, and they're going to win the game and go 4-1.
No one's been able to shut down J.J. Watt yet, though. So.
They have
J.J.
a
Watt's
tough
dominant
challenge.
right now.
Okay, so you're taking the Cows?
Taking the Cowboys.
One for the Texans, one for the Cows?
This is not really a Cowboys home game, however, because they are playing the Houston Texans, who are just a few hours from the stadium as well. Let's remember that. Still, at the end of the day...
Cowboys fans are a few minutes from the stadium. Cowboys fans are all over.
True. But at the end of the day, I'm still taking Dallas on this one. Number 1 ranked NFL rushing attack with 165 yards a game, and this Texans defense is only 26th in the league in rush defense. So you got to think DeMarco Murray's going to have a field day, and then just the fear of DeMarco Murray is going to allow Tony Romo to light up this Texans defense.
Okay, I think I'm going to give it to Camille on this one. Not necessarily for loyalty, but I feel like all signs are pointing to the Cowboys winning this one, and when all signs point to the Cowboys winning, they never do. So I think I'm going to give Camille the point on this one. I'm going to take the Texans as well. Now, guys, as we've mentioned multiple times, it's finally October, which means a couple of things. Cooler weather, maybe here in Texas. Halloween, of course, and the MLB playoffs. The Royals defeated the Oakland A's last night in their first playoff game in 29 years. Giants are currently facing off against the Pirates in the wild card for that last playoff spot in the NL. So, guys, we're going to go through each matchup here real quick, see who you all think will advance past the divisional round. First, Royals-Angels.
I got the upset here. I like this Royals team. They're scrappy. They really fought it out against the Oakland A's. And the Angels limped into the playoffs. They went 3-7 in the last 10 games. I don't love how that team looks right now, and I love the passion of the Kansas City Royals.
Okay, so you're taking the Cinderella story?
Definitely Cinderella story
All right,
here.
Camille?
I think playing at home is a big deal. I think that it was a little bit too close for comfort with the Royals, and I think the Angels are going to come and take it back because I don't think they can beat them at home.
Okay. All right, easy pick with the Angels.
I'm taking the Royals on this one. We saw last night with 7 stolen bases. They definitely know how to get runners in scoring position, and their hitters can produce when it's needed. They scored in every situation that was needed and required for them, so I think the Royals are going to pull this one out.
Alrighty, so we got 2 for the Royals, 1 for the Angels. I think I'm going to go with the safe pick, take the Angels as well. Next up, Dodgers-Cardinals. Camille, we'll start with you.
I'm taking the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw. That's it. That's all I need to say about him.
Alrighty, so you think he's going to pitch or what?
I do.
3 games in a row and they're going to sweep it?
I mean, maybe not a sweep. Maybe not a sweep, but he's just such a key person on their team, clearly. And I think him and Puig are just both going to be great for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, not bad having Greinke pitching the day after Kershaw. So.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yes, I'm taking the Dodgers as well with Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke. I don't know how you could not take them. And then Matt Kemp and Carl Crawford's bats are coming alive right now. I just think they're getting geared up for the postseason, and I think they're going to take the series.
Yeah, that's a great point there. I mean, the bats of Matt Kemp and Carl Crawford, huge for the Dodgers.
I want to disagree, but I just can't. This Dodgers team is dominant. Great offense. You've got Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke. I mean, how can you pick against them right now?
I mean, I'm going to make it a sweep and take my Dodgers on this one, guys. Next up, Tigers-Orioles. Taylor, we'll start with you.
I've got the Orioles on this one. I know the Tigers loaded up their pitching for the playoffs, and I know that they have a tough pitching staff, but I just think the Orioles playing at home and their bats, I'm going to say like their home runs are going to help them out and win this series.
Okay, Addison?
I just disagree with her there, and I got to go with the Tigers here. They've got actually a very strong offense as well as a pitching core. I think that's a tough combination for the Orioles to beat, and they're a strong team for sure, but the rankings just all tip onto the Tigers side.
Okay, Camille.
I think this one's a toss-up. I think this could really go either way. I don't know who to choose. They both have their ups and their downs. I guess Orioles. Why not?
I mean, I think this is probably the toughest choice of all 4 matchups that we're going to talk about. I'm going to take the Tigers. I just think that pitching's a little bit better, even though the Orioles have the home field advantage. Now, guys, last one. Nationals got home field advantage all the way through the playoffs if they make it to the NLCS. They're going to take on the winner of the Giants and the Pirates. Who you guys taking?
I got to go with the Nationals. I mean, I think that Zimmerman's no-hitter a little bit ago was a bit of an omen. I think that this team is going to dominate, and I'm not worried about the Pirates or the Giants in this series, really.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Regardless of what happens in the Pirates-Giants tonight, I'm taking the Nationals. That momentum off of Zimmerman's no-hitter is big for them, and they have the home field advantage. I think it's just kind of clear.
Okay, Taylor, you taking the Nats too?
Got the Nationals as well. Their pitching staff is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Nats too. I think that's the easy choice on this one as well. But Addison, you mentioned that no-hitter by Jordan Zimmerman. How much of a factor do you guys think momentum really plays? I mean, going into the playoffs.
I'm a big fan of momentum person. I really think that that's a big deal. I think the way a team is feeling, the way that locker room and dugout is sort of vibing together is a big deal. I think that if you're going into the playoffs down, you're going to play down. You're going to play a little bit more scared. If you're going in with momentum like the Kansas City Royals are, I think you got a real shot at winning.
So you guys agree? You guys buying the momentum too for the Royals and the Nats?
I agree.
I think momentum is big.
Alrighty, good discussion there, guys. I'm going to give everyone a point, as I usually do on buy or sell or things like that. But guys, time to take our final break of the night. Coming up next, it's our rapid fire round. Stay with us. It's College Crossfire. Thanks for sticking with us tonight here on College Crossfire. Let's take one last look at the scoreboard before we get into rapid fire. We got Addison with 3, Camille with 2, Taylor with 4. But guys, remember, Addison, you learned last week. Taylor, you'll learn this week. Camille, you already know. It really doesn't matter. Until we get into rapid fire, everything's worth 2. Let's get right into it, guys. In a recent interview, boxer Floyd Mayweather called fellow boxer Manny Pacquiao a señorita. Pacquiao responded in Spanish, and he basically said that he's not angry at Mayweather, but he just feels sorry for a man without an education. Kind of harsh words there, a little unwarranted in my opinion. We all know about the beef going on between these guys. But for the sake of argument here, let's assume that these guys were actually going to fight, which they probably never will. Who you guys going with, Pac-Man or Money Mayweather?
I'm putting my money on Money Mayweather over here. He's just dominant. You know what? Pacquiao's seen a couple knockouts recently. He has looked great. I mean, he became an internet meme for a while when he was knocked out on the ground. I can't get behind that at all. You got to go with Mayweather. You don't need education to knock someone out.
I just don't know if Mayweather's going to be able to dance around Pacquiao like he does everyone else. Camille,
I'm
Taylor?
taking Pacquiao because both of my roommates are Filipino and they told me so. So I'm not going to fight them.
Alrighty.
I got Pac-Man as well. I just it would be nice to see the upset, and I just think Mayweather needs to be like shut up.
Okay. I personally like Floyd Money Mayweather, but I think I'm going to take the Pac-Man on this one. Like I said, I just don't know if Floyd Money Mayweather can dance around Pacquiao. So I'm going to have Camille 2, Taylor 2. Moving on, guys. Derek Jeter didn't take long to get a new job following his final major league game on Sunday. Jeter's starting a blog which he explains as a place where athletes have the tools they need to share what they really think and feel. We want to have a way to connect directly with our fans with no filter. So, which athletes would you guys most want to hear from on Jeter's new blog and why? Anybody? Anybody can jump in on this one?
I got a couple people. First of all, I want to hear Peyton Manning because as funny as he is, and I don't think we get enough of his personality. We get commercials here and there. I think he's got a real personality. He's a real entertaining guy. I'd like to see what kind of commentary he could give us. I had one more guy, and I can't quite think of his name right now, so I'm just going to...
No, I like Peyton. I think it'd be cool to hear from him. We always get the PC answer with him. Yeah. All right, anybody else?
I like Colin Kaepernick. He's cocky. He's got that swag. I don't think you ever know what you're gonna get if you put him in front of a camera or ask him anything. I think it'd be fun to see what he has to say.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I feel like he's pretty candid to begin with already, though. But I don't know. Maybe he'd go into even more detail. You know,
Yeah.
Jeter mentioned no filter. So.
No filter. You never know.
Taylor?
I think it'd be interesting to see Richard Sherman on the blog with no filter.
That would just, the internet would explode if Sherman got on there.
I think it would attract a lot of fans.
True.
So.
Anybody got any?
My other
another
guy I
one?
wanted to hear, Joel Embiid.
Okay.
The recent...
So you want to see him expand past 140 characters then?
Yes, I
He's a
want
Twitter
Joel
legend right
Embiid
now.
to have his own place where he can share his thoughts. This guy's hilarious. He's got a personality. Let's hear what he has to say and bring at least some relevance to the Sixers, whose basketball prospects are not that great this season.
So Addison wants to see Embiid slide into the blog.
I want to see what Michael Phelps would have to say after what's happened to him lately. I mean, he apologized on Facebook, but his fans are they're a little iffy about him right now. So I think it could be interesting to see them really give it to him and see what he has to say.
I just have a feeling Phelps' PR guys wouldn't let him get on a blog after that. But Taylor?
I think I would have to go baseball to Adrian Beltre.
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting to see what he has to say on a blog.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with Addison on this one for the 2 points. I'd really love to see Joel Embiid. That was a good one. And I'd like to see him expand past 140 characters on Twitter because he's hilarious there. Peyton Manning, I think, would be pretty cool, too, unfiltered.
Let them both flourish out here.
Yeah, definitely. So 2 points for Addison now. Guys, before we let you go tonight, one more rapid fire to get to. This one will come in the form of the classic Caption This. Here's a picture of the Detroit Tigers. You see them up there. Some interesting attire. 2 points to the best caption. They're wearing some interesting full tiger gear. I don't know if it's actual tiger skin.
Well, I'm trying to go into the playoffs, and that's why I like my pick.
Okay. Wait, is that your pick to win it all, Addison?
That's my pick to win this series, at least.
Okay.
Who let the Tigers out?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Nothing?
Thinking, just have all of Katy Perry roar going through my head right now. That's more lions than tigers. So I don't know. I'm
Addison,
off.
Taylor, Camille, you guys got another one for me? Or? I know it was kind of hard to see that over there, but they were wearing some pretty slick tiger gear.
I think they may have Tony the Tiger on their side. Hopefully he could suit up with them as well. I think that would have been a fun picture.
Okay.
Tony the Tiger and friends.
Tony the Tiger and friends?
I'm drawing all kinds of blanks right now.
Yeah, I don't think I have another caption.
No? No one? Come on. Anybody? Camille, I know. Camille, when I put this question in, I knew you would have something good for me, but because you're great at Caption This.
I don't want to disappoint you. My mind keeps flashing.
We're gonna pop it one more time for you guys. You'll see it a little bit better.
I don't know why. I feel like they're standing there with so much swag. I just keep having like the Kendrick line, "A Benz is to me just a car," flashing through my head. Like, I'm cooler than you, and you know I am.
Okay, so that's our mentality there.
I think so.
Taylor, you got anything?
I guess no, not really.
It's a hard one. It's a hard kill.
I guess I'm gonna have to give Addison the 2 points here. He's gonna get his second straight win. I mean, the new 2-0, undefeated there. Addison, congratulations. We got time for 30 seconds of FaceTime for you. What do you got for us?
You know what? I got to talk about Tom Brady because I'm a Jets fan, and I love to see that Tom Brady's having a little bit of trouble right now. You know who's ranked higher than Tom Brady as a quarterback in the NFL right now? The Rams quarterback, Chad Henne, and E.J. Manuel. E.J. Manuel was just benched by the Buffalo Bills, and he's ranked higher than Tom Brady in QBR. That's a little bit concerning, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, and E.J. Manuel got benched. I mean, he's no Tom Brady. He doesn't have a bunch of Super Bowl rings, but that's pretty concerning if you're a Patriots fan.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we still got a little bit more time. We'll do some score predictions real quick before we go. For the Baylor game.
For the Baylor game. Ooh.
Real quick.
I want to say 28-14, Baylor.
Okay.
I've got the Longhorns. I've got 35-31. Got to go for the
35-31 Texas?
I do, yeah.
All right, I like that loyalty.
Bold
I'm
move.
going 21-17 Texas.
Okay. I'm going 42-14 Baylor. You know after I talked about loyalty. You guys can boo me out if you want, but
Nah, it's all
that's going to do it for tonight's show, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of College Crossfire. As always, catch us right here every Wednesday night at the same time. Remember, you can also follow us on Twitter at CollegeXFire. For the biggest sports news on the 40 acres, you can tune in to College Press Box Monday nights at 9:30 p.m. For everyone in master control, the studio, a lovely panel tonight, and myself, good night. We'll see you next week.